Veteran Salute is sponsored by the Devon James Injury Lawyers.
Welcome back. Linda Fleming's mother was a Marine, so when college didn't work out for her, Fleming enlisted in the Army.
And she ended up serving for her country for 9 years. KSN's Jason Lamb brings us this week's Veteran Salute.
When Linda Fleming enlisted, women weren't part of the U.S. Army. She actually joined the WAC, the Women's Army Corps. Fleming lived and worked around the U.S. and in Germany during her military career. These days, she'd love to live where she works.
So this is the living room of the Frank Lloyd Wright Allen House.
Linda Fleming feels right at home inside Wichita's Frank Lloyd Wright Allen House.
This is my spot. I like it here. I love meeting the people that come through here.
Long before Fleming began volunteering as a docent at the Allen House, she was in the Women's Army Corps.
And at that time, women pretty much, it was either nursing, something to do with food, or secretarial office work. That really was our options at that time.
She trained to be a clerk typist.
And because I already knew how to type, I kind of got through that whole program probably in half the time as most everyone else.
Fleming's first duty assignment was at Fort Riley, Kansas.
I just always remember the saying was, if you're going to be one, be a big red one. And that was kind of Fort Riley's motto, I guess. I was the first female to get an on-the-spot promotion by the post commander.
She was promoted to private first class.
So I processed the initial processing for incoming officers. I was pretty much their first stop. They would come in, see me, and I would kind of give them the initial paperwork. You know, we would talk about housing. I would let them know where the officers club was and just basic information when they first arrived on post there at Fort Riley.
After a year and a half at Fort Riley, Fleming was sent to a smaller installation in Germany.
The Women's Army Corps disbanded. Everywhere, the United States Army, there no longer was a Women's Army Corps. We now became the United States Army, part of the United States Army.
Fleming had never fired a weapon.
Because of that change, I had to actually qualify with an M16 rifle. And I did that in Germany, qualified sharpshooter.
After serving in Germany for 3 years, Fleming was ready for a change.
I worked for a really nice man who said, well, where do you want to go next? I'll see what I can do for you. And I had never been to California. And I said, I need to go to California. And so he said, okay. And he helped me get assigned to the AFI station in Los Angeles.
The Armed Forces Entrance and Examining Station, where newly enlisted soldiers from all 4 branches were tested and received physicals.
This is my Joint Service Commendation Medal. And I guess the special thing, if you will, about this is the only way you can get this medal is if you have been stationed with all 4 branches of the service.
Fleming left the service after 9 years. She met her husband in L.A. and got married. After 10 years of dealing with L.A. traffic, the Flemings moved back to her hometown of Wichita.
The table has been released for reproduction, but the chairs never have been.
She's in her 7th year volunteering at the Frank Lloyd Wright House.
I love this house. I think the city of Wichita, the state of Kansas, is so fortunate to have been somehow given this jewel that sits here in the middle of College Hill that so many people, including Wichita, doesn't even know it's here.
Fleming says she and her husband Al are proud to be veterans. She sees the way Vietnam veterans are finally being recognized and calls it a whole new day. Here for you, Jason Lamb, KSN News 3.
On behalf of Devon James Injury Lawyers, we're honored to recognize this week's veteran, Linda Fleming. Miss Fleming served our country in the United States Army. Thank you so much for your service.
I want to thank you as well. Because of organizations and businesses like yours, it really has shone a spotlight on the fact that we should be proud to serve in the military. So thank you again.
Oh, thank you.
Veteran Salute is sponsored by the Devon James Injury Lawyers.